Wasn't the bear around here? Potentially it wasn't, but I think it was. Huh. This walk has been a lot less eventful than the walk there. I mean, well, in game certainly, but just we haven't had any crashes either, which is or I didn't mean to press that button, but whatever, we'll take what we get. Should do a bit with alchemizing at some point, shouldn't I? Butterfly scared me. Yes, I'm a wimp. Yes. More made me jump than anything else. Right. Maybe it was around here, was the bear. Huh, no. Are they randomly... I'm guessing they must be randomly spawned then and not placed. Because, yeah. Because otherwise we would have faced it by now, I think. Maybe it's going to come up soon. I don't think it was this close to Chorrol, though. I mean, I could be wrong. Ooh, a bridge. Or is that up to... I don't remember that bridge. Let's go exploring, shall we? Or was that on the way to old, was this bridge on the way to, it wasn't, it's not close enough to the things of the mountain area. How do I get to this bridge? You're easily distracted, Dragon. Say, I know. Why do you think I was picking the herbs even though I said I wouldn't? Oh, no, I pressed the wrong button. I wanted to jump. Shadow's Rest Cavern. I don't know where that is. Is that beneath me? Huh. I don't know. Right, we said we were just going to head to Chorrol, didn't we? I also said I wouldn't be picking herbs. I'm obviously not good at sticking to my word. Bear. Let's go. Don't want to unnecessarily get into a fight with a bear, especially when I'm just merely travelling to Chorrol to learn spells. I'm not on any particular quest. Where is this even? Where's this even? Where's this cave? Around there somewhere. Yeah. We know where it is, if it ever becomes necessary to find it, but... E to jump. R to change camera. Right. Good to know, good to know, good to know. Dear! Hello. Jump. Ouch. Ah! Okay, for some reason... Oh, it's doing this again, isn't it? Yep, it's just lagging a little bit when it starts the next music. I thought I'd fix that. It's annoying. That's part of the reason. I fixed it by changing, I think, the way the sound codecs worked, which then meant that the music didn't work because there weren't any... I had to restart. I can't remember why. I had to restart my computer, but I didn't realise that, so I fiddled with the, I think with the INI file, or the INI file. No, space. And that rearranged the controls a little bit. And I understand that I quite like using space to activate things, it's just I need to remember that it's not jump as well. I'm guessing you are a fighter, you're a foe. Actually, let's... What's absorb health? That's restoration as well. Oh, my goodness. Crouching did not work. I'm invisible. Invisible! It didn't last. I thought it would have lasted a little longer. Ah, oh, he's an intelligent boy. He waited for me to lower my guard. And now he's dead. Poor meat. Right, we could probably do with some healing. We could definitely, looking at our health, we could definitely do with some healing. Right. Okay. Yeah, okay, come on. I don't know what I was going to say. Right, okay, so we're done with you. Yeah, I mean, that could have potentially gone better if I'd had a different summon. I don't know, that's the thing. Huh. Well, I mean, having the other spell isn't going to be necessarily a bad thing. Look, sword. Put it away. Hello. Ah, Chorrol. Wonderful. Because having so many Vipers stuff, I should probably start using it in potions. And if I'm not going to use them, I can always just sell them. That's the thing. You apply them an inch here? Yes, you are. But, yes. Oh, maybe the time I'm sure I picked some of these. Maybe the time I've been away, they've regrown, and I can reharvest them. Where are we going? We can go either way and get in. So we'll go this way. Foxglove. I'm guessing that's poisonous. I think foxgloves are poisonous, aren't they? Foxglove. No, resist poison. Oh, I'm sure. Oh, flax. Always flax. Should probably start using them, shouldn't I? Yeah, so once we've this little flax. I've gone past the way-in, haven't I? No, I haven't. Good. Goldenrod. But as soon as we're through... Come on, brain. Meh. Right, we're nearly in... We can nearly get in. Gotta ignore the flax, it's quite prevalent, isn't it? But yeah, once we've done stuff here, we might then head off again. Or we might not. Oh, we might not head off. We might stay in Chorrol forever. Nah, we'll be heading off. It's just, yes, I think we'll be heading off along the Red Ring Road. Just go a slightly different way. Rather than going round to Bruma and then along, it doesn't make any sense. We may as well just cut across. Yeah, so instead of going back up and then down, I think it probably makes more sense to cut down to the Lake Rumare, and then around the Red Ring Road, and then up the Blue Road, rather than going along the Orange Road, down the Silver Road, along the Red Ring Road to the Blue Road. You know, there's no point if you've got a direct route to the M25 and going round, of going up a different way to then come back onto the M25 somewhere else. Completely pointless. So yes, and then Shaden Hall, we'll get a quest there, and Mage's Guild, and then after that we'll... I don't know. What did I just do? I pressed a button, and I don't know what I pressed. But something happened. Right, what am I doing? Mage's Guild, right. Mage's Guild, do some alchemy, and... This Mage's Guild? Yes, good. See if we can get some new conjuration spells. I say spells. I think I'd be surprised if it's spells. Close that. Oh yeah, there's novice stuff, are they? Right. I can't remember who sells the spells. Hello! Tobacco. Yeah, we could just nick these, couldn't we? I mean, and use them in our alchemical research. course. Firmament. I'm always just intrigued, because I know there's, game at dinner. Okay. How long is this? This is going to be very long, isn't it? Should I read it? Like, if I had chapters, I'd be tempted to do that. Split them into chapters, but... should I read this all the way through? I think I will. If it goes into an entire episode on its own, I can just label it as such. Right. A Game at Dinner by an Anonymous Spy. I wonder what this has got to do with alchemy. Poisons, maybe, with a spy? Who knows? Right, forward from the publisher. The history behind this letter is almost as interesting and dark as the story it tells. The original letter to the mysterious Downane was copied and began circulating around the ashlands of Vardenfell a few months ago. In time, a print found its way to the mainland and Prince Hlalu Helseth's palace outside Almalexia. While the reader may conclude after reading this letter that the prince would be furious about such a work, impugning his highness with great malevolence, quite the reverse was true. The prince and his mother, Queen Barentia, had it privately printed into bound copies and sent to libraries and booksellers throughout Morrowind. As a matter of record, the prince and the queen have not officially stated whether the letter is a work of pure imagination or based on a natural occurrence. The House Drez has publicly denounced the work, and indeed no one named Downane, despite the suggestions in the letter, has been linked to the house. We leave the leader to interpret the letter as he or she believes. Nerescan, publisher. Dark Liege Downane. You asked for a detailed description of my experience last night and the reasons for my plea to House Dress for another assignment. I hope I have served you well in my capacity as informant in the court of Prince Helseth, a man who I have stated in many previous reports could teach Malag Bal how to scheme. As you know, I've spent nearly a year now working my way into his inner circle of advisors. He was in need of friendship when he first arrived in Morrowind, and eagerly took to me and a few others. Still, he was disinclined to trust any of us, which is perhaps not surprising given his tenuous position in Morrowind society. For your unholiness's recollection, the prince is the eldest son of Barentia, who was once the queen of Morrowind and once the queen of the High Rock Kingdom of Wayrest. At the death of her husband, Prince Helseth's stepfather, King Eadwire, there was a power struggle between the prince and Eadwire's daughter, the Princess Elisana. Though details of what transpired are imperfect, it is clear that Elisana won the battle and became queen, banishing Helseth and Barentia. Barentia's only other child, Morgaia, had already left court to marry and become queen of the Somerset Isle, kingdom of Firsthold. Barentia and Helseth crossed the continent to return to Morrowind only last year. They were well received by Barentia's uncle, our current king, Hlalu Athin Clethen, who had taken the throne after Barentia's abdication more than 40 years ago. Barentia made it clear that she had no designs on reclaiming the throne, but merely to retire to her family estates. Helseth, as you know, has lingered in the royal court, and many have whispered that while he lost the throne of Wayrest, he does not intend to lose the throne of Morrowind at Clethen's death. I have kept your unholiness informed of the prince's movements, meetings and plots, as well as the names and characters of his other advisors. As you may recall, I've often thought that I was not the only spy in Helseth's court. I told you before that a particular Dunmer councillor of Helseth looked like a fellow I had seen in the company of Thola Sarayoni, the archcanon of the Tribunal Temple. Another, a young Nord woman, has been verified to visit the Imperial fortress in Balmora. Of course, in their cases, they might well have been on Helseth's own business, but I couldn't be certain. I'd begun to think myself paranoid as the prince himself when I found myself doubting the sincere loyalty of the prince's chamberlain, Burgess, a Breton who had been in his employ since his days in the court of Wayrest. That is the background on that night, last night. Yesterday morning I received a curt invitation to dine with the prince. Based only on my own paranoia, I dispatched one of my servants, who is a good and loyal servant of the House Dress, to watch the palace and report back anything unusual. Just before dinner he returned and told me what he had witnessed. A man cloaked in rags had been given entrance into the palace and had stayed there for some time. When he left, my servant saw his face beneath the cloak, an alchemist of infamous repute, said to be a leading supplier of exotic poisons. A fine observer, my servant also noticed that the alchemist entered the palace smelling of wickweed, bittergreen, and something alien and sweet. When he left, he was odourless. He had come to the same conclusion as I. The prince had procured ingredients to prepare a poison. Bittergreen alone is deadly when eaten raw, but the other ingredients suggested something far deeper. As your Unholiness can doubtless imagine, I went to dinner that evening prepared for any eventuality. All of Prince Heltz's other councillors were in attendance, and I noticed that all were slightly apprehensive. Of course, I imagined that I was in a nest of spies, and all knew of the prince's mysterious meeting. It is just as likely that some knew of the alchemist's visit, while others were simply concerned by the nature of the prince's invitation, and still others merely unconsciously adopted the tense disposition of their fellow, better informed councillors. The prince, however, was in fine mettle, and soon had everyone relaxed and at ease. At 9 we were all ushered into his dining hall, where the feast had been laid out. And what a feast! Honeyed gore apples, fragrant stews, roasts in various blood sauces, and every variety of fish and fowl expertly and ostentatiously prepared. Crystal and gold flagons of wine, Flynn, Shane and Mazda were at our seats to be savoured as appropriate with each course. As tantalising as the aromas were, it occurred to me that in such a maze of spices and flavours, a discreet poison would be undetectable. Throughout the meal, I maintained the illusion of eating the food and drinking the liquor. The liqueur. Would it be liquor or liqueur? I don't know. But I was surreptitious and swallowed nothing. Finally, the plates and food were cleared from the table, and a tureen of a spicy broth was placed in the centre of the banquet. The servant who brought it then retired, closing the banquet hall behind him. "It smells divine, my prince," said the Marchioness Colgar, the Nordwoman, "but I cannot eat another thing." "Your Highness," I added, feigning a tone of friendliness and slight intoxication, "you know that everyone at this table would gladly die to put you on the throne of Morrowind, but is it really necessary that we gorge ourselves to death?" The others at the table agreed with appreciative groans. Prince Helseth smiled. "I swear by Vernima the Gifter, my dark liege, even you have never seen a smile such as this one." Ironic words. You see, an alchemist visited me today, as some of you already doubtless know. He showed me how to make a marvellous poison and its antidote. A most potent poison, excellent for my purposes. No restoration spell will aid you once you've ingested it. Only the antidote in the tureen will save you from certain death. And what a death, from what I've heard. I'm eager to see if the effects are all that the alchemist promised. It should be horribly painful for the afflicted, but quite entertaining. No one said a word. I could feel my heart beating hard in my chest. "Your Highness," said Alarat, the Dunmer I suspected of alliance with the temple, "have you poisoned someone at this table?" "You are very astute, Alarat," said Prince Helseth, looking around the table, eyeing each of his advisers carefully. "Little wonder I value your counsel. As indeed I value all in this room. It would be perhaps easiest for me to say who I haven't poisoned. I haven't poisoned any who serve but one master, any whose loyalty to me is sincere. I haven't poisoned any person who wants to see King Helseth on the throne of Morrowind. I haven't poisoned anyone who isn't a spy for the Empire, the Temple, the House of Telvanni, the House of Redoran, the House of Indoril, the House of Dress. Your Unholiness," he looked directly at me at his last words. I know that in certainty. My face is practiced at keeping my thoughts from showing, but I immediately thought of every secret meeting I've had, every coded message I've sent to you, and the house, my dark liege. What could he know? What could he, even without knowing, suspect? I felt my heart beating even faster. Was it fear? Or the poison? I couldn't speak. Certain I was that my voice would betray my calm facade. Those loyal to me who wish harm on my enemies may be wondering, how can I be certain that the poison has been ingested? Is it possible that the guilty party, or dare I say parties, were suspicious and merely pretended to eat and drink tonight? Of course. But even the craftiest of pretenders would have to raise a glass to his or her lips and put empty forks or spoons in their mouth to play the charade. The food, you see, was not poisoned. The cups and cutlery were. If you did not partake out of fear, you're poisoned just the same. And, sadly, missed an excellent roast.